Okay, let's take a look at just today. Let's start off with removing everything and we'll see what we end up with here. So I like to trade. If you've been watching the other videos, let's look at what we're playing with for today. Let's just say here's a decent line. Let's go right about there. So let's go to a daily. Things are looking up. So on daily you can see that super strong base, and you can see this correction we're kind of playing off of here. Man, what a dominant, really right there, just look down, just straight up. So no need to go too far back, but one thing I always like to look for is, you know, dominant trend down, and then a move up. But let's go to 4 hour. Well, I guess we could. No, we'll do some drawings on daily. Let's do it. So let's take a look at our previous, maybe right about here. So there's the 17th, 16th, 15th. So probably there. Let's just start basing off. Let's get some lines going. Alright. So let's pretend that this day, the 17th, which is today, we don't have that data, right? So let's say all we have is our previous data. We probably should tackle that low too. Alright. I'll go to the 4 hour time frame. It's very similar, but let's go to the meat. Alright, let's break it down into the hourly, and we'll get more sense of what we're playing with here. Bang, bang, bang. We missed that meat on the hourly, but where's our day start? So our day starts there. We've got everything more or less pegged out. So if we can look previous to our timeline here, you know, we've got a downward. So let's draw low. And let's get to 9:30. So let's go to the 30-minute time frame. So we can see, that's probably the 9:30, yeah, that makes sense. So we can see we're rolling off some highs here. We have a little bit of a basing period here, and then of course our bottom line from our recent data is there. Whenever you're trading, I like to look at the open, which is 9:30, and then we can kind of see where, where we're going from there. Where's our hot items? What are we looking for? So we can see leading up, we just have this consolidation. Then we get here, right? So we're playing within this range. So we kind of go up, we go down. There's our, if we go to 2 a.m., that's kind of our low. Then we make our way up. There's our largest bar, and we kind of froze there. But the bar I look forward to, and what I would probably tell you guys, is we're not really moving down, are we? I mean, we kind of have a little bit of a down move. It's breaking into a 15. It'll be a little easier to view. But if I'm just looking at the previous data leading into the day, right? So we go up, we go down, we kind of base here, we go down a little bit. Now we start getting into the morning session. And we pull back here, right? Pull back there again. Just give that a color. So here we kind of have pre-market, pre-9:30, we kind of have a low, right? So we have a touch, 8 a.m. we have another touch. We're not really breaking that area. We broke it before, right? So our 2 a.m., then when we come up here, we're kind of, nothing's really happening. Why won't it let me draw anything else? Who knows? Anyway, it should let me draw some shit, but it's not. What the fuck's going on, bitch? Alright, there we go. Alright, so alright, let's try that again. Join rectangle. Okay, so we can see once we hit, this low here, we hit it again at 8, right? But we're not breaking it. And we're just about ready to roll in to our 9:30. The 9:30 is really the one I try to pay most attention to. So what would happen? So we see we're kind of moving on an uptrend here. We kind of wick, we go all the way back down, which is fairly close to here, right? But we're playing off the 815 area, but we don't break a new low, do we? So we go up to there, up, 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 pull back here, and we never break that. And so that line is important for now, until it's no longer valid. So we know we have our low here, we're not breaking that. We move up to here, right? And we got our 9:30, we don't break that low. So let's play off that a little more precise. We'll play off that to there. So we go up, we go down. We have our high here. Right? Well, we're going to have to look at some smaller time frames and see how quick these happened. So if we're playing out the 5, we can kind of see this pattern, you know, where it's within this range. It's playing off the blue. So we have one touch, we have a long, and we have a new kind of base here, but then it breaks, goes all the way back down, breaks all the way back up, right? Still playing off. And then we have a quick wick down here to the white. Doesn't really break lower, goes all the way up. Right, a little pullback, continuational up. And then we kind of have this bar here, so that really here is our high. I know this sounds silly, but save it. So if we're just studying the war, and we come in, and we're looking at, you know, maybe the 930, right? So we see our 930, 935. We've kind of got two bases. We have a base here and a base here. It doesn't really break this base. That's why we draw, you know, that's our white line, and here's our little bit lower. What I would recommend to anyone is when we get close to this base again, which isn't too bad, it's an 8-point. You know, what's that? That's like 41, 49, 8 points. No big deal. When it hits this area, go long. Anywhere in this area, look to go long. So we go there, we got a pullback, there's your long. Same thing up high. So we have this massive breakout up, we have a fail. Well, it continues to fail actually. But the point I was trying to make was, here was our high, right? And what was our risk? So we're looking at 78 to 85. I mean, whoops. Not bad, you know, under 10 points. So that's something else to look at. Do we actually really break this long? And if we do, I thought, you know, we had a shot at going. We'd have to look at a bigger time frame here. If we were to break, you know, that level, where would it take us? That's pretty good, pretty tight there. We got a lot of, yeah, we would probably go here, we play around there, this area, we'd probably hit here. So that, you know, more than likely, if I was playing another move up, I just have to look at bars, probably somewhere in this range. I'd hope it would fulfill that, but the good news is it doesn't really. Let's go back to our 5 again. It respects this area, big time. Respects this area, and you're not eating much heat. So if we look at when it hits this line, right, which is the high of the day, on a 5-minute, there's your next 5-minute, goes all the way back up, breaks a new high, which we could chart as well. It'll make sense in a minute. I know you're like, what the fuck is he doing? But I want to show something. So if we're letting the war take place, so we look at our 930, right, which is right about there, 935. 930, we get a wick up, move down, we go to here, we start building up. Now if you were confident looking previous, you would say within this range. If you weren't afraid to take along there, along there, along there, you've established this area here should be a buying area, right? Based off your previous information. So the next time you hit this line or this line, you're probably looking for a buy, just based off of the data from here, to here. So here we have our 930, boom, 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 boom. That's your first entry right there. I hope that makes sense. So we'll just put a square there. That area, we'll make it a little above it just so you can see. I wonder if it looks like it touches it right on. That area is a buy, anywhere from there to there. If it starts breaking below this, then we're looking to get, we're looking to get out, because we don't want to take too much heat and we don't want it to collapse on us. So I'd say your first long should be here based on your previous data. If you missed it, that's quite all right. Sometimes these things, they happen so fast. If it's a wick move, sometimes you don't have a lot of time. We could break it down to the minute. We might be able to see how that played out. Yeah, so even in a minute term, you know what I mean? It was a wick. It wasn't really a body. So, but had you put a trade there, if it got filled, congratulations. You could have rode that up to the only trade. You could have rode it probably. Realistically, you're probably riding it to here. If you're doing multiple contracts and you're going to leave one, you're looking. You're looking for. I mean, you could let it ride. Really, that would be a ballsy ride, because you'd be riding it up to just a high, probably in this area. That's where you would let the last one ride to. Yeah, and that's like an hour, a little half an hour, right in that ballpark. But that would be your first long. That's insane. That's what, 550. It's 100 points. Now let's say you didn't take that, which makes total sense to me. Let's say you let the war play out and you're just relaxing, you're waiting for, you've established a high, you've broken it, you've broken another, right? There's your high, bang, fail, pulls down, goes all the way back up within this range here. So that is 76, 84. You're kind of getting within that 10-point range. Then we got to pull back again. So if I was playing this general area, it's bang, bang, bang. It's literally fail, break again, reach peak, go all the way down, fail, fail, fail. So in this zone here where you're just seeing it eat dick, you should be looking to short this area. So based off your limited knowledge of what's happened, this area in here now becomes your short from two major factors that are easy to see. It's not breaking out. It just doesn't have the go-go juice to really break out. I mean, you get a little there, but it's very minimal risk. So once it hits, past the meat of, in this zone, I would say within this area, you're looking to short. Now, have you taken that short within that area? That would be your next trade. Now, the neat thing is you've established, let's maybe break it into a 15. So it's easier to look at. So, man, that's just, there's no meat there. The meat's right there. That's important to me. If I'm looking at that time frame. So if I was taking a short off the top, this bar here, it breaks. Goes down, whips back up, goes back up to here. So within this range really is probably where you might look to get out. If you're going for the full 2 bars, you're getting out here, right? So you're holding it till, you know, maybe like a 76, right around there, and you would have gotten that. If you're trying to get greedy and hold it to the white line, you never got filled, or the blue line, you never got filled. But you know, at that point, you're kind of, so it's a little tricky, man. I mean, especially that area there would have been a good exit. So let's say you took that trade. That's what, 613. You know, if you're getting in off the double top, or let's just say you got in there, 665. So, you know, you can't beat that, man. 50 points. So, you know, there's your 100 point, 50 point. Then it gets a little interesting because there's the current low, right? It never breaks that low again. The meat is there. So once it starts to break the meat of this candle, I'm looking to go long. And I think I did take a long there. Then I got called away, so I had to exit, but that would have been a beautiful long there. So that would have been another trade. Just based off of that you're breaking, you're no longer wicking it. Now you're moving up. Once you break into the meat, I mean, come on, get out of town. You're looking to get out right there too. So 610 to 565, you know, beautiful trade. After that, we kind of start playing a little bit. On the 15, it's a little tricky because you almost base here, right? You wick down, but you're kind of playing what's in this area, and that gets a little tough. So let's break it into a 5 so it's a little easier to play. So I don't know if I would have really gotten into any of those other trades. The only other thing I'm kind of seeing is I'm seeing this line here, this blue line, you know, kind of like a long off the blue. So when it hits here on these recent, so what do we got? We got a little pullback there at up move 1, almost breaks it. See, it gets a little tricky though. But it's in a wick, so it could have happened very fast, in which case you might not have gotten it anyway, right? So you're wicking there, you're going up, you almost have a decent base here, right? So we have an up, 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 breaks it, wicks it, starts going up. So, you could have played off that the second time. So you see it there, and you're looking to go long here, but, you know, that's maybe. If you're a degenerate and you wanted to keep going after all the points you could have crushed this area, and you really wouldn't slow down till there. So 633, yeah, 20 and change, right about there. So those are the trades we should have been looking to take today. So if you established a low here, right, in this area, you're taking the long here. Dynamite move, depending on how long you held it for. Once you've established your top and you noticed you have a breakout, it hits it again, you're not getting a carry away, right? So meaning it's not breaking through this and continuing up. You, without a doubt, short. And I'll be damned, man. I mean, right there. Crazy. But we already established we might not have held it that long. Now, once we look at, I doubt we'd all be trading those time frames, but you never know. Sometimes the minute gives you some input. What the hell, we'll go back to it anyway. So I'm really only seeing a couple areas of interest here. I mean, you can almost say we're not really. That's the trade you want. That short is the trade you want. That long is the trade you want. And you're gonna probably within this range. Or, you know, depending. But I mean, or if you start, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Those were the only trades I see if you were on those timelines. So if you did the 941, 1024, 11, and then maybe you played off the, well, see, that's close, but and then you play off the 354. But then of course, you know, you're getting close to your 4 o'clock range, right? You don't want to, you know, you can't stay too late. But those are the trades to make if you did your analysis. And that would have given you the best opportunity to play this, play today's cycle out. And to be totally realistic, you only needed really, that trade is a whole day's worth of, This trade right here, this general area of 561. You would have to be hell of a lot of patience to hold it through there. But if you did, you know, and you're going for the top of the smile, so you would be basically 600, you know, 60. So let's say you didn't get to 40. Let's say you got 35 points out of that. But if you're doing 3 contracts, you're crushing it. But primary entries, I mean, or even if you caught it on the up and you waited till it broke into the body of that, right? What I mean by that is, let's say you didn't play off of that, but you were looking for it to cross into the meat of that bar. So it goes down, hits the meat, continues up. I mean, dynamite trades. So, you know, it's kind of funny. A lot of people say, oh, you know, you could do so many trades throughout a day and get caught up in an entire day's worth of trading, but really 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, and you would have absolutely crushed it. And some days you can get them. Some days, you know, you can't. Some days you're at work and you get called away and you miss a lot of trades. But fantastic. So once again, you know, just levels. Your levels are absolutely tits. I don't know why everyone's, you know, jacking off on price analysis and all these other things when simple levels really give you everything. God, look at that wick. Everything you need. And you can almost see it, you know, you can see the meat there, the wick down, touches, goes up, wick high, base, you know, if you just want to trade the fat or the bodies, right? 6 o'clock short. Looks like market's opening up. Looks like I had a short in my practice account. I like to play around a lot sometimes. Of course, they'll disqualify me for after hours. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, there you go. We'll probably get to hear not much of a trade. Unless it just eats it. But enough of that. I don't like trading after hours. I don't recommend it. But if you were in a trade like, you know, something of this nature, you definitely would want to, you know, protect. You could always put your stop loss in front of your trade and just see how far down it goes. Probably this area. Should get a pullback. Let me see. We got there. That's, yeah, if we're playing off of this. Let's see. Who knows? They're going to disqualify me for this anyway. Not found. Yeah, it doesn't exist because I already resetted the account. It just hasn't reset yet. But anyway, I mean, there's your data, guys. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. And that's basically, you know, what you want. Enjoy. We'll pick it up tomorrow again. And we'll get a look at everything else. But I think if you did your analysis, I mean, you could have crushed it today. No reason you couldn't have had, you know, a $2,000 to $3,000 day trading reasonably today. Yeah, it was definitely there. You just would have had to have caught those moves. Anyway, have a good one.